I'm quite far away because the lighting from that window there is very bright. Very bright indeed. Massively late September book haul. We are now 7 days late. It is the 7th of October and I very much doubt I'll get this all edited in one day, so it's probably even later than that. But September was a massive book buying month for me, so I don't think I could ignore this massive pile. 3 things led to a huge amount of books in my life. One, I visited my mum in Dublin, that you may remember me mentioning a few videos ago, and she very kindly bought me some books. Second of all, I went back to my uni town, which has a large selection of second-hand shops. And third of all, I managed to score a few freebies. So I'm just going to jump straight into it because this is probably going to be quite a long video. I picked up 3 very nice Collins classics in the Oxfam shop. I think they were selling these for like 99p each, so there's a ton more in there as well, and I'm really fighting the urge to buy them all. But I have Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. I've read Wuthering Heights before, but I don't own a copy of it. I think I got it from the library when I was quite young, so it'd be nice to revisit. I got Robert Louis Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, is that what it's called? The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I have actually never read this, and it's relatively short, so I thought it would be a very nice little thing to have in my bag with me for reading, like in a spare 5 minutes or something. And I got Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels. I'm really struggling to remember which books I got in September and which books I got at like the start of October. These are some of the books from a series of unfortunate events. If you watched my book haul from a few months ago, you'd know that I've managed to find 2 of them secondhand and have been trying to collect them since. Put a link to that somewhere. And I went into Oxfam and I found a lot of them and nobody stopped me. Why didn't anyone stop me? But I got the 2nd book, The Reptile Room, the 3rd book, The Wide Window, the 4th book, The Miserable Mill, the 5th book, The Austere Academy? I don't know. The 6th book, The Earthsat's Elevator, 7th book, The Vile Village, and the 12th book, The Penultimate Peril. I already had the 1st book, The Bad Beginning, and the 10th book, The Slippery Slope, so I'm now only missing 8, 9, and 11? But I have been trying to read those before I go to bed as like a bedtime story for myself, because they're quite short and easy to read. The next book I got was Your Brother's Blood by David Tousey. David Tousey was one of my lecturers last year. I had lectures and seminars and workshops with him, and yeah, he's really nice, he's really good. He was, I think, one of the best teachers I had last year, so thought I'd get some of his work. On the subject of lecturers, I'm not going to dwell on this too much because it's really awkward. The Cunning House by Richard McGrath Turley, again, one of my lecturers. I got sent this by the English department at my university for being in the top 10% of my class in terms of grades. So that was lovely, and Richard has very kindly signed this. Cheers, Richard. That was one of the freebies I got this month. Got a few more freebies. Me and my friend Kathy were sort of in the right place at the right time. I managed to score some free course books. And I won't dwell on these ones too much because I will do a full video about the books that I study at university. Got The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith, Door by Andrew Miller, Trumpet by Jackie Kay. It's always nice to get free books. And I picked up this course book for, I think it was about £2 in Oxfam. It is Waterland by Graham Smith, which I will be studying next semester. On the recommendation of 2 of my very dear friends, I picked up The Alchemist by Paolo. I'm not even gonna try. If you've watched my videos sort of for a while, you'll know that I can't pronounce names. I can't do it, and I feel really bad about it, but I just can't do it. Don't really get what the fuss was about, to be honest. I found it quite pretentious, and I know some of my friends will be really annoyed at me for saying that. If you understand why this book's so great, please talk to me about it and leave a comment because I don't get it. Next, I've got a selection of very beautiful books that I picked up on a very fun shopping trip. In a local charity shop, I picked up The Snow Child by, God, again, another name I can't pronounce. Yoan? Ivy? I don't know. I picked up The Snow Child. This is set in Alaska in the 1920s. The Snow Child is a fairy tale and I've read a few different adaptations of it. Don't really know much about this novel itself, but I'm really excited to find out what exactly it's about. I've never read a book set in Alaska, so for 50p I picked up The Climbing Tree by Mike Jenkins. This is a short story, I assume. It's very small, the writing's quite large. Mike Jenkins used to go to my uni way back when, and he did a talk for us, and he was very lovely and very insightful and very funny. So I picked up this because I hadn't actually seen a lot of his writing before. The next very beautiful book I picked up was Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I think it's Stiefvater. I'd seen this book around a lot and thought it looked very beautiful, but I didn't know very much about it. I think it's about wolves, possibly a boy that was raised by wolves, but I thought it was a good read for coming up to Halloween. But yeah, I will probably get around to this before Halloween. Another very beautiful book, this is The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. I saw this in the Oxfam shop and I just fell in love with the cover and had to pick it up. My friend Kathy recommended it to me even though she said she hadn't finished it. My understanding of it is that it's quite metafictional, it's sort of a book about books. So that's the type of thing I'm really interested in. I'm super excited for this one. Again, it strikes me as quite an uncanny or unusual read, so I might try fit this in before Halloween. And another very beautiful book. I picked up Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I think it's Aveyard. I don't know. I'm sorry. Again, I think this would be a pretty good Halloween read, but I don't reckon I'll make it through all three of those four. I don't reckon I'll make it through all these books in a month. I actually picked this one up in The Works. The Works gets some really cheap books. I highly recommend going into The Works and just seeing what they've got there because I picked this up for £2 and I'm pretty sure this book only came out this year. I couldn't bring a lot of the books I got in Ireland home with me because of baggage restrictions, so my mum very kindly posted me some and it's in this massive package. I'm sure I even remember what's in here. She's packaged these terribly. This is Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. I'm a massive Louise O'Neill fan. I think she's a wonderful author, a wonderful person. I want to be Louise O'Neill when I grow up. This is a YA dystopian novel where young girls are pretty much educated to be the perfect woman, I suppose, to be the Barbie doll. This one's fairly boring. This is a literary theory book by Peter Barry. Again, one of my lecturers. Yeah, I need this for uni and just generally for being a literary critic, I guess. I'm sure this will be used in many an essay. This very cute book is 500 Words You Should Know by Caroline Taggart. Yeah, it's just a list of interesting words and their definitions. I think Tasha put this in a video for the Middlemas book tag for the non-fiction book, I think. I might have just made that up. It might not have been Tasha at all. Next, I have 2 signed books, so that's quite exciting. Picked up How to Be Bad by E. Lockhart, Lauren Miracle, and Sarah Milanowski. I've never read a book with 3 authors, I don't think. Let It Snow has 3 authors, but there's 3 short stories within that book. I read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I wasn't that amazed, but I'm definitely willing to give it another go. And the final book of my massive September book haul, this is One by Sarah Crossan. Sarah did a signing in Dublin when I was there and I managed to get myself a signed copy. One tells the story of twins, not only twins, but conjoined twins. I don't think I've ever read a book about twins, definitely not a book about conjoined twins, so I'm very excited to see what sort of viewpoint this gives me. Looking inside it, it's written really interestingly. I think it's written like in poetry. But yeah, that was my massive September book haul. Well done if you got through all this.